Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So in this one, I wanted to ask the question, do you think the Jets need to already make a change at the quarterback position? You know, heading into week 2 here, it's the Cleveland Browns, the 1-0 Cleveland Browns. We saw how bad the offense looked yesterday. Okay, let's not beat around the bush. The loss was not on the defense. The defense stepped up. Quincy Williams, Quan Alexander, multiple guys were making plays. Jermaine Johnson got in the backfield, Jacob Martin. The defense was fun to watch, honestly, especially in the first half. I mean, they were making plays, but the failures and the shortcomings of the Jets offense was, in my opinion, the main reason why the team lost. Of course, you know, there were some coaching decisions that bothered me, some special team stuff as well, like the missed field goal, the punt that went pretty much horizontal right off of Braden Mann's foot. It wasn't the best on special teams, obviously, but when you look at the offense on paper, it struggled massively. Granted, it was wet. It was the first game of the season. There was going to be some rust. I get it. Multiple guys missing. No Dwayne Brown. No Zach Wilson, obviously. I get that the Jets had, you know, some things working against them for sure. But with that said, I mean, let's just take a look at the possessions overall. Especially in the first half, they could not do a single thing. 7 total drives in the first half, 3 points. 3 points off of 7 drives. That's not going to cut it, okay? 4 punts, an interception, and a missed field goal. Halftime arrives, the team exits the break, and in their first 2 possessions, it's 2 more punts. The offense just was not moving at all. Was it 100% on Flacco? Absolutely not. The offensive line was god-awful. It was so hard to watch. I mean, everybody was getting beat. I felt like they were just constantly getting in the backfield. I mean, Flacco got sacked overall 3 times, but man, there were times where he just delivered the pass and he got nailed, or he had to, you know, the 37-year-old statue of a quarterback, you know, a guy who isn't mobile. He's out there running for his life, extending plays and breaking outside the pocket. You know, it was the Jets' offensive line did Flacco no favors. None at all. And then we also have to factor in all of the other mistakes that happen on the Jets offense as well, like the Tyler Conklin drop, the Elijah Moore drop, the Corey Davis drop, the screen pass that went right through Breece Hall's hands. What else? Conklin had another play where initially it looked like he picked up the first down, and then he got the ball knocked out. Just mistakes all. Lawrence Cager slipping and falling down middle of the route, which led to an interception, went right to the defender. The offense really held this team back. So it begs the question, do you make a switch already? Do you try to get that spark against the Cleveland Browns team in Cleveland, by the way? Do the Jets pull the trigger here? Would you? You know, it's an important question. I don't think it's crazy to say it, you know, given the numbers. And of course, we take a look at Flacco's numbers overall. They weren't horrible. Threw a touchdown pass, threw for over 300 yards. But then you start diving a little deeper, and then it's like, okay, well, he threw the football 59 times. A good chunk of that yardage came in garbage time as well, where the game was already over. And when we really needed the offense to step up, it just wasn't there at all. Just, you know, critical situations, the offense stalled out. So we look at other options, right? Let's just explore the idea, you know, Jets maybe make a move. They allow another quarterback in practice to get, you know, number 1 snaps. Mike White, am I crazy to say Chris Streveler? I mean, I feel like at this point, I don't know, to roll out in week 1 against, granted, a stacked Baltimore Ravens team, but you're at home. It's 9/11. The fans packed the house. They were loud. They were sitting there in the rain cheering on this team, and that was the offensive performance. Give me a break. It's got to get better. It's got to get better. We cannot roll into Cleveland next week and look like the same team, or possibly worse. Cannot happen. Unacceptable. So we look at Mike White first and foremost. Last season, he threw for 5 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 953 passing yards with a completion percentage of 66.7. Obviously had the historic game against the Cincinnati Bengals where he went off, first appearance ever. I mean, Jets fans know the story, throws for 400 yards. And what makes it even crazier, like hindsight being 2020, the Bengals were in the Super Bowl last season. You know, of course, it was kind of a different team. A lot of time passed between the Jets win and the Super Bowl, but he still defeated the he lit up the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. Okay, so that game was awesome. But then, of course, we have to bring up the negative, right? As awesome as that game was, there's been some bad moments with Mike White, whether it's later on in that season, whether it's this preseason overall, just inability to move the football, just couldn't distribute in preseason whatsoever. So it's up in the air. You know, what version of Mike White would the Jets be getting if he becomes the starting quarterback in week 2? It's a tough question that nobody has the answers to. I guess the people closest to Mike White have the best idea, have the most clarity on what could potentially happen, which is, of course, Mike LaFleur and Robert Saleh. But, you know, if it's not Mike White and the Jets want to make a change, again, Chris Streveler, I think at this point it's a long shot, but I need to talk about him. In Robert Saleh's own words, and I don't know if he was kidding, I don't know if he was being serious, but he said these words, one of the best preseasons ever. Could have been the best preseason ever, right? And when you look at what he did in the preseason, rallying the guys, spreading the football around, punching it into the end zone, showing off mobility, showing off ball placement, really doing a good job of putting the football in places where only the pass catchers can get it, never really giving defensive backs easy opportunities for turnovers or anything like that. Of course, it's preseason, he's going up against backups, I get it, but you know, he's still a member of this Jets team. And he plays the quarterback position, and with Zach Wilson being out, again, exploring the hypothetical question of, do the Jets want to make a move here to try to create a spark? I think you got to bring up Streveler here. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Would you do it if you are the Jets, Robert Saleh? Would you try to move forward with Flacco at least one more week? To be honest with you, I think that's the direction that the Jets are going to go, given how bad everything else around Flacco was. And, you know, we talked about the questionable decisions before, like Garrett Wilson only having 6 offensive snaps in the first half. I mean, they drafted him in the top 10. He's arguably the best wide receiver prospect in the entire class. Everybody loved him, right? I mean, teams just raved about Garrett Wilson throughout the draft process. There's so much love for Wilson, and he's hardly cracking the lineup. When there's drops and everything like that, I mean, there's some adjustments that need to be made here. 100% on you know, with Mike LaFleur. Hardly targeting the tight end position. It seemed like Uzama didn't even play. A lot of questionable stuff that went on. But I think in the end, the Jets will opt to roll with Flacco. They'll try to make some adjustments. They'll, you know, obviously review the tape and see what went wrong and see how many mistakes that this team made, see how many opportunities that this team squandered, how many times they shot themselves in the foot and gave Baltimore not necessarily the win completely, because we have to credit them. They went out, they handled their business, they did their thing, but man, they made it easy. They made it really, really easy for the Ravens, giving them opportunity after opportunity. Okay, it was hard to watch, man. It really was. You guys know it. All right, so I think in the end, it's going to be Flacco, but I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. I've gotten a ton of messages since the recap video has gone up. A lot of people want to see Streveler. A lot of people want to just see a change to the quarterback position overall to try to get some sort of spark. You know, a lot of Jets fans were pissed, you know, because Flacco, he provides no mobility. And if the offensive line is going to look that bad, you know, in Cleveland, you know, a team with Myles Garrett, and they have so much talent defensively, back end too. I mean, it's going to be tough. The Jets cannot perform like they did yesterday against the Ravens. Can't do it. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.